Everyone, and welcome to a new video of Estella's Intuitive Chamber. So I want to tap into a nice energy reading that I have for next week. So the next week we have the new moon on the cusp of Libra Scorpio, more so in Libra on the 28th degree. You know, it's almost moving into Scorpio, but it's still in Libra. So it's going to be on a critical, what they call a critical degree. It's a degree connected to the sign of Cancer. It's a degree that holds a lot of emotional intensity. And it holds a lot of emotional power. We also have the amazing conjunction of Mars, Mercury, and Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio. And what does that mean? Lots of emotional intensity coming in for next week. But I think it's something that is going to be very beneficial in the end, and it's going to bring down foundations only to bring massive transformation in your life. Because remember, if we have everything easy in life, we don't have to work too hard. But if things are a bit tougher, we work a bit harder to get to what we want, because it's not just so freely presented before us. You know, we actually have to work for it. And while that makes us heavily exhausted and brings up to certain, emotions that maybe we don't want to deal with, but it's very much necessary for us to take the step forward. Transformation is never easy, really. I have gone through a massive spiritual purge. I had a moment of spiritual crisis. I had a moment where I didn't know what to believe in anymore. Do you believe in this? Do you believe in that? But, it mainly made me question the whole spiritual world around me and how it works. And now I've gone through certain attunements. I've gone through certain spiritual realignments that I went to seek in its order just to understand. I want to know my truth. I don't want anyone to tell me what the truth is. I want to know my truth. So I went out seeking it. And what I found was that they don't tell you that it gets nasty before it gets good. They don't tell you that. No one will ever tell you that. And I found that out in a very peculiar way, where I sought these alignments and attunements, and it got really nasty before it got really better. Now I'm doing really good. I have to say, I feel good. I'm doing good. This life force is coming back. But for a moment, I was questioning everything. I was like, because everyone has their version of truth. Everyone has their version of religion. Everyone has their version of spirituality. I don't want to, I want to listen to myself. I don't want to listen to all these voices around me. You have to do this, you have to do that. Literally shut up, let me think. Let me sit with myself. Let me understand what I'm going through. Let me embrace it and let me work with it. And that's what I did. And I'm so glad I did that. I took the wheel, and I'm like, now I'm going into a path that suits me, not what the outside voice, not what, no, I'm going into a spiritual path that suits me and only me. Doesn't have to suit Mary, doesn't have to suit Susan, doesn't have to suit, I don't know, Mark. I'm just shooting on random names. But I want to really talk about the importance of making your own choice, the importance of, making conscious decisions about what is best for you, based on what you feel is right for you. Scorpio energy, it doesn't do bullshit. It doesn't do surface. It doesn't do small talk. It really brings out the emotional truth, no matter how painful that is. It brings it out in the open, and it makes you acknowledge it, whether you like it or not. This is the whole theme of Scorpio. Pluto, Scorpio, it goes into taboo. It goes into the little crevices of your subconscious mind and your body, where you feel it's the most uncomfortable thing to face. But that's the work, that's the shadow work with you. Shadow isn't our enemy. Negative emotions, they can work against us, yes, but they're not our enemy. They're telling us that we need to pay attention to something. They're not to be shamed. You're not to feel guilty about it. They're there to show you something. You need to work on something. Something's there. And I hate where society nowadays, they shame these things. They shame vulnerability. They shame emotional openness. They shame honesty. Like, why are we shaming this? Why are we, first of all, ignoring it, putting it under the rug like it never happened? Why are we doing this as society? Who taught us to do that? I cannot help but notice a collective emotional closedness. Everyone's so worried. I can feel there's a big event coming. I don't want to talk about it right now because that's not the point of my video. I will make a tarot reading about it later on. There's a big event coming and everyone's feeling very anxious about it. People are intuitive. They're connected to the things they don't know they're connected to. They know it. They just don't want to deal. They don't want to think about it, because if you think about it, it's the elephant in the room. You cannot say it. We all have to be nice and pretend that everything is great, that our lives are perfect, that we feel no pain and shame and guilt, and we are these perfect beings, like aligned with everything, like even the spiritual world, like everything is great. We're all aligned with each other. Everything is like stop, stop. Let's not forget that we are humans. We have a very human experience, and we will continue to have a very human experience. Yes, there's a lot of negativity in this world. There's a lot of bad, but we also cannot shame other people for feeling certain emotions deeply. We cannot shame them for having the ups and downs. We really cannot shame them. Who are you to shame someone like that? Who are you to judge someone like that? Maybe it could be you next day. And the pretense that people, like this falsehood under the digital media of everything's perfect. What is perfect? Is everything really perfect? Or are you just masking it so much? You're lying to yourself so much that you poison your body, you poison your soul. You try to put on this mask, the smile. This is the capitalist word that taught us, like, put on this smile. Pretend everything is great. Pretend everything is like, oh, I'm untouched. I'm spiritually high in vibration. Everyone's an idiot. My high vibration is so high. I vibrate higher. Everyone's below me. Do you understand how much ego that holds? And if you think like that, you are not spiritual. With Scorpio season, the time is to stop the pretense. We have major events coming. We have major worldwide events coming in the next couple of months. We just don't have time for bullshit. There's Neptune in Aries, no time for bullshit, time for action, time for three things, which is honesty, integrity, and authenticity. Anything that isn't that, it gets its tower card. It gets its purge. It's purged out of the world. And but we still try to hold on to that pretense. And I see that with people. We try to, I know it's a coping mechanism, and I do understand that a lot of people struggle with feeling, like letting them feel that, because it's so painful, and like the truth of something that's bothering them in their life is so painful for them to acknowledge, and so painful for them to put out in the open. Like, they're afraid of facing that. And I get that. I get it's hard, but this is not the times where we can hold on to that, because it's gonna force us out of our shell, whether we like it or not. It's happening anyway. You can try, like the Tower card, you can try and resist the change. Your foundation is built on, it's like shaky foundation. It's going to be brought down whether you like it or not. So better to acknowledge before than when it's too late. Collectively, I do feel this energy of pure frustration, anger. I'm feeling like something, I'm feeling like a lot of energy in the heart chakra, the stomach chakra. I'm feeling lots of anger, frustration, emotional closure, complete emotional closure. It's not a good thing to process with a society. And I know the system has taught us to feel this way. because we'll almost like it's a cruel world. We have to be like this. But do we have to be like this? We don't have to be like this. We can always change it. We can always like vibrate differently, you know? Not like vibrate, oh, I'm vibrating higher and I'm feeling no emotion and everything's perfect and little. No, like feel it, acknowledge it, bring it out in the open. That's how you will vibrate higher, because what no longer scares you makes you stronger. What no longer bothers you makes you stronger. Not ignoring it, pretending it doesn't exist. The truth is within you always wants to come out. And Scorpio's biggest medicine is actually facing emotional truths. You know, Scorpio energy at the moment is cutting through all this illusion of the perfect world, the perfect emotion, the perfect social media life, the perfect influencers, like everything's great and perfect, and you know, we're born again Christians, or we're born again this, but our life is falling apart where no one can see. So that's why I think that especially in the coming weeks, there's going to be a scandal, whether this is a sexual scandal, this is a scandal to do with people that wield power, where they think this power will not bite them back in the ass. And they wield it, and they think they've got so much power over people, but they do underestimate the power of the collective, the power of truth, like squirming to come out. So this is the energy I'm picking up for next week, like a major. There's with Black Moon Lilith has been so subjugated. She's been cast out of Eden, and you know, she's been conspired against. So what happens when Black Moon Lilith finds her power in Mercury, in words, in Mars, in physical power? It's almost like the energy of the dark goddess rising. You know, it's like, okay, I have risen back. What can you do now? And I'm being very metaphoric, but when I'm seeing this like power of like something is bigger than all of us, because I've risen back from the ashes and I'm stronger than ever. And there's literally you can do to fight me now. You can choose. This is strictly what I'm channeling. You can be destroyed. I can destroy you right now, or you can work with me. We can work together. I don't know what this is, but this is the energy that's coming through right now. With the beautiful trine between Neptune, Saturn, and Jupiter right now, we have this beautiful emotional, deep emotional connection. The Neptune cutting through illusion, giving us clear perspectives, and then Saturn giving us this responsibility, but easing the emotional feelings behind this responsibility. So it's actually working in our favor. The planets right now are giving us this beautiful way we can work through that. Only if we acknowledge the three things I've talked about, which is honesty, integrity, and authenticity right now. You have the means to succeed from the universe. It's up to you whether you're going to choose to work with these energies right now. This is very powerful energies, not to be taken lightly, but also not to be messed with. So while these energies, they could bring up to a big scandal, emotional confrontations, but they're really inviting us that as long as we stay true and we stay real to our path and the way we feel, especially if this is like in a positive way, it's going to get us out of a rough patch. But at the same time, there's the energy of Venus in Libra that is it's cutting through the illusion and bringing us clarity, but through, once again, being honest, just, and fair. Really what matters at the moment with the new moon in Libra next week. The new moon in Libra next week also speaks about justice. It speaks about justice preserving over injustice. Empathy over coldness, compassion over like misunderstanding, teams of victory, but with justice and fairness. There will be no victory if we're unjust, if we lie, if we hide, if we're not real with our intentions. And that's where with Scorpio energy, we have to draw a line. where like we want to know the truth, we want to know what's going on, but sometimes the truth, someone doesn't deem us deserving enough of knowing their truth. It's too painful to talk about it. They don't want to be reminded of it. It's fine. Let it go. The strong energy of letting it go. If it's meant for you to know, you will know. If it's not meant for you to know, then it's time to part ways. It's time to forget about it. It's time to move on. So this is the energy I'm picking up on. Like it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be. Life will separate you. If it's meant for you to come together, life will bring you back together. But right now, it's not the time to poke at something like this. If someone doesn't want to talk, let them not talk. But there has to be a boundary drawn at the same time. There has to be a boundary drawn. It's like, I'm not always going to be here when things are nice. I will be here when things are nice. I will also be here when things aren't nice. But if you don't want to open up about when things are not nice, that it means that you do not have trust in me enough for you to share these things. And that's fine. You deem that someone is untrustworthy. You deem that someone doesn't like or cannot, like, you don't want to be reminded of an emotion. That's absolutely fine. That's where, in this case, you give people space. You leave them alone. You leave them to deal with it. You don't bother them. You don't ask questions. Because with this energy right now, like the more you poke, the worse it becomes, really. Like the more you poke, the worse it is. So you might provoke a very emotional reaction of someone that you don't really want to. But I do always encourage, even if you're not feeling well, at least have the decency to tell someone that you don't want to talk to them anymore. I don't want to hang out with you. I'm just not feeling it anymore. That's absolutely fine. Some people will take it personal. They are unhealed. Traumas will come out, abandonment issues. Yeah, this could come out. But, you've been honest. You've said it. I think with honest intention and honest words, things can mend themselves pretty easily. Like things go away very easily, and as long as it's like very honest. Obviously, there's people that don't take no for an answer, but this is a story per se, So let me know if this video resonated. Let me know what your truth is. What has the light of the current transits, what have they brought into your life? What realizations, what transformations, what truths have you come to? Let me know in the comments. And from now on, you can book readings with me by clicking on the link in my bio. And stay grounded, stay safe, and stay protected. And I'll talk to you with another energy update soon. Thank you for watching.